1934, maybe 1 year more. The Depression was aboard, a young couple needed more. About to even the score, into the hospital door came the Misericordia twins. Up they did grow, but not that high, you know. But that never made him slow, all the boys started to show. Barry and Frank, just themselves to thank. 10 kids between them, oh Lord, have you seen them? Traveling around the world, still a couple of girls. Visiting your kitchen, fun's where you begin when you're gone with the twins.
What our purpose here today is, with spatula in hand, is to show you how to make meatballs. Now, I'm going to make them my way with my grandmother's recipe. Pauline's going to make them her way.
Oh, I'm using the grandmother's recipe.
You use the grandmother's
You're
recipe.
using the new.
Okay. I'm going to show you the new way.
Okay, all right.
We were trying to appeal to an audience and make things a lot easier than they were in the olden days. Mind you, Moan's recipe was fairly simple and straightforward.
Well, not if she ground her own, as your daughter says, she ground her own pork. Do you think the young people are going to grind their own pork? I have ground my own pork. Have you ever?
No.
Oh,
yeah, I did.
Yeah,
I did.
I
years
do.
ago when I
I've
was
done
young
that
and
quite
foolish.
often.
Yeah.
Buy a roast of pork, grind it up, the best meat. There isn't even fat on the bottom of the pan. Keep going.
I'm going to show you a really neat way of doing it that makes my life a lot easier. It will make your life easier if you wanted to copy me, but I don't think you do.
I never want to copy.
Okay, all right.
So
First of all,
okay. You tell us what you're going to do, and then I'll tell you what I'm doing. But I'm going to interrupt.
I have no doubt that you're going to interrupt. Okay. First of all, I put all my ingredients in one bowl. All my liquid ingredients, everything besides the meat is going to go in one bowl so that when I'm mixing it, everything is going to be evenly mixed, i.e. the spices, the eggs, the cheese, the breadcrumbs, and the parsley as well. The whole idea is we want to preserve grandmother's recipes, but we want to make everything simple. And I think if you go into an Italian home, you're going to find that every freezer has meatballs in it. And you know, it's a quick meal. You can just haul them out of the freezer, buy a can of sauce, or make your own sauce. Okay. So this is what we're going to do today. We're going to get you ready. A simple way to make meatballs, put them in the freezer and have them ready. First and most important ingredient is your chili peppers. And depending on how much meat you have, we have about 2 pounds there. I'm not quite sure. So I'm going to take 2 good pinches, maybe 3 of chili powder, maybe 4.
Okay, would you my hands are a little dirty now. I'm just going to let you do all the work, and I'm just going to tell
So
you
you
what
don't
to do,
want-
so nothing is really
You don't
any
want
different. No, okay.
No, you don't want mixed ahead of time.
Okay, that's
enough?
good. Yeah,
Now, the question of putting salt in meatballs is a very important one because I was speaking to Rosa Demarini the other day, who is my true Italian cook. And she said, Maria, no, I don't put salt in the meatballs because there's salt in the cheese. So there are varying reasons. Every time I make meatballs, the kids say, there's not enough salt in it. So it's up to you.
Okay, but I think you have to clarify something right from the very beginning.
Sure, you go ahead.
No 2 batches of meatballs ever taste the same. We've been making meatballs all of our lives, and they are never the same. Because you put a different amount, it might be that, I don't know what it is, but they're never the same.
No. So, are they always good?
Sometimes it's not so good.
Yeah.
Okay, but generally they're good. Generally they're good.
Pauline is going to do the garlic the way my grandmother did it. I, on the other hand, am going to already buy the ground garlic because I hate doing the garlic.
First
And
of
I'm
all,
going to put-
I'm sorry, Mary. I can't believe you do that.
I would only put 1 teaspoon in, but I'm going to put 2 in. I'm finished the garlic already. Let's keep it.
If I were smart, I would have prepared this ahead, but I wanted to see how inept I was at doing it. I don't spend that much.
I just want to show you the way that clump of garlic is sitting there, which is really not going to get moved around as well as my chunks of garlic because mine are going to all be together in liquid. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2, my friend Rosa said, you put a little bit of onion in your meatballs. Just gives you a little bit more flavor. However, I think I'm going to have some opposition here, and if you feel free to talk.
I would never. No, I might, but your grandmother would never have.
So you've got your garlic in
I've
there.
got the garlic and the red peppers and the salt.
And you're going to put your cheese in.
I am. Now, you'll notice how well we measure. Hey, my grandmother would say, hey, I put a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and then you just wing it.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to put the cheese in the bowl.
I think you can over cheese it. You know that?
You can. You can.
I did that once, and meatballs weren't as good. So
really, so
sometimes less is better.
Okay. Next on our agenda is breadcrumbs.
Okay. Let me just tell you about Mario Batali. Have you all heard of that wonderful Italian chef? He comes from the same region as my grandmother. And when he was making his meatballs, he said, you always use fresh bread. We ground some leftover French bread, and honestly, it does make a difference because I think it just absorbs everything. It makes it not a solid mass of meat. You kind of need a little something.
Can we agree on one thing?
Sure.
I hope you're going to put parsley in.
Absolutely.
Well, then you can do some parsley for both of us.
Really? You're going to watch me with Donna's knife again. Oh, okay.
It's the only thing we can agree on.
Okay, you keep talking and I'll do the parsley.
So, you see Pauline's mess here? So I'm going to put in 3 eggs because I seem to have a lot of meat here.
Oh, you can over egg it, you know. No, I'm serious,
Well,
Mary.
then you just add more breadcrumbs if you over it.
Oh, and then you have too many breadcrumbs. No, I think you need to be really, that's the difference, because you're not going to get the real feel of that. When you're doing it one at a time and you
I'm
mix
going
it,
to
then you know.
add 3 eggs.
Oh, did I do a good job?
You did a perfect job.
Half for me. A little more than half for me.
You did a really good job.
I did do a good job. It's just, this is just a pretty face. I was beginning to wonder. Okay, so I put the eggs in, and now I'm going to show you how my grandmother did it. Oh, but while I'm telling you this, I have to tell you about my mother. I love my mother, but you know what? When she would mix her meatballs, and Donna, you must remember this, she would take a little bit of the raw meat, mix, and taste it, and I'm going, oh, that is so, I could never do that. Could you do that?
No, but I watched her doing it so
I
many
watched her
times.
do it.
And
Oh, and look at the
so
two-
much about salmonella.
Yeah.
You see this lovely mixture? I'm going to dump it in. Pauline says there's too many eggs, but look at how thick it is.
Is this perfect? Just look, is this absolutely perfect? Let's try that.
Are you kidding?
I could never do that. Our great-great-great-grandfather was an orphanage in Calabria, Reggio Calabria in Italy, and was abandoned on the door of the Misericordia orphanage. And he stayed there till he was 16 or 18 years old. We're never sure how accurate that story is. And when he left the orphanage, he didn't have a surname. So he became, was he Angelo? He was the first Angelo. He was Angelo Misericordia. And so that's how we have our name. We've done research all over the world, and there are very few surnames that are Misericordia.
We also heard that he was a descendant of a count.
Oh, you know, Mary, everyone's a descendant of a count. It's
like going to
the count. No, the count went to the orphanage and he seduced the nun. That's the whole story. So, and I don't believe that. No, so we won't go with that.
No,
Okay.
no, we have a relative that said that,
Well.
that we were descendants of nobility.
Oh, Mary, everyone.
Have you noticed how I haven't added too many eggs because this is just mixing to the perfect consistency. Look at
It's
it.
exactly the same.
Oh, it's the garlic. My garlic had a yellow tinge to it. And
I'm
yours
telling
is
you,
pure.
you added
Yours-
all sorts of things there that you shouldn't have added. Okay, we're now ready to roll.
Okay.
I have a husband who doesn't know where the kitchen is except when he wants to go to the fridge to see if there's any food. So I was making meatballs the other day and he said, this is what he said to me. Don't roll them too tightly because they're not as good. I wanted to take that meat and sling it. And I thought, you're telling me how to make meatballs? And guess what? He was right. You can over roll the meatballs. Am I right, Donna?
When you're mixing the meatballs, it's much easier if you have a little bit of oil in your hand. I am showing you the easy
You
way to
notice
do
the gentle
things.
way we're doing this? I think the sauce has to penetrate the meatball, and if you make them
for
too
sure.
tight, they don't. And and so half of the flavoring of this, oh, they look pretty nice with the oil on them.
The reason we want to go into other people's kitchens is because we've been working with the same MO for all these years. We'd like to see how other people do it. And I want to get to know other people's recipes. How about you, sister?
That is not my reason at all.
Oh, it's yours.
I just want to get into their houses because I love looking at people's houses, don't you? I do. And
Lee, you really do need a bit of oil because they look pretty
I
rough
can
around the
sprinkle oil
edges. No,
after
it's
it's-
not going to be the same. You have to put. Look at how smooth they are.
oh, give me the oil. Oh, now I can. No. Now it's harder to look. It's harder
not
to
harder,
roll them.
no.
It is. I'm gonna pat them all with a
No,
little
it's
oil.
not going to make a difference if you.
It
pat
look
them.
at. There's a difference in the way you roll them when you have all that. Oh, I'm not doing it. I'm just not doing it. This is a miracle as you're watching us roll because Mary is only doing this because I'm here today.
I'm doing it because we're on camera.
And that's the only reason. When we're doing meatballs, she will have them scattered here. It's the same with cookies. There's no organization, but today you're doing really well, thanks.
Would you like a strawberry?
Right in your mouth. I think a lot of people watch the cooking channel, but I don't think a lot of them actually cook the food that they're seeing because it's
Kind of the recipes aren't complicated, Lee. The first
yeah.
time
But
they
that's
say
well, would you let me finish
just a
the
second. The first time they say split an egg, they turn off the television.
That's right.
Separate an egg.
Well, we were at the book club the other day, and one of the women was saying, you know, my brother and I keep trying to recreate the past. So we thought we'd copy one of Mother's dishes that she made. She made spaghetti and sauce. And so she said, we went and got a can of tomato juice. And I said, what? That doesn't stop the I said, what did you say? She said, listen, I'm telling you, Pauline, we thought it was the best food we've ever eaten. And it was tomato juice and,
Was it
aspic? I'm telling you.
Was it done with a gelatin?
No, it was just tomato juice as the
Oh.
sauce.
Oh.
And her brother, and she said, we thought it was the most marvelous food. But you know, some people don't grow up with good cooks in their houses.
But I was also speaking to a Spanish lady the other day, and she made us a tortilla, something potato tortilla.
Yeah, you have no idea what it's called.
No, I have no idea, but I can find
But
out.
it was very good.
Very good. And I said to her, Maria, do you do this often? She said, every one of our homes has it there all the time. She said, people come in, they take a slice of it, they have it, it's comfort food. I think every nationality has comfort food.
They do. I don't know. But do you not remember your children coming home from school and you'd have fresh rolls in the oven and
Never.
sauce going? No, well, mine do. Good cooks. Oh, so Mary and I would get on the phone every day around 4 o'clock, wouldn't we? And we'd start prep for dinner. So while we were prepping for dinner, we'd talk for about an hour.
Yeah. We even talked when we did the dishes.
We did.
Because our kids never did the dishes. Oh.
Mine did.
Yeah. Well, her perfect children did the
They did.
dishes.
My children always did the dishes. Oh, well, let me just tell you. No, this is, yes, she is the most giving person in the world.
Being a twin, she's the very same. She gives to people all the time.
Yeah.
And she has her meatballs aren't sparkling, but she does have a sparkling personality.
We use pork today.
Oh, I
But our
forgot
mother
to
used to
tell you.
use pork, veal, and beef. And she'd send us to the corner store and say, tell the grocer I want some pork, veal, and beef, and put it on the account. Remember?
Yeah, I
That's
do.
the way we did it in those days, and once a month she'd pay off the account. Our son Jay is one of the best meatball makers in the family. And Jay uses sausage.
I know.
Takes the sausage, strips them, puts them in, and really there's a flavor. So the thing about this, there is no recipe for this. You just have to feel your way, and you have to be innovative. And well, I broil mine, and so she bakes hers.
Well,
But
you know
my
what?
mother used to fry them.
I know. So did Moan.
Oh,
She
but
fried
they were
them.
the best meat.
They
They were
were.
better. I know
Well,
we're not
but they were
frying
full of
things.
fat. Yeah.
Yeah,
They were
well,
good.
so they were full of fat.
Everything that's got
Yeah.
fat in it is good.
So if stuff has fat in it, eat half as much as you would if it didn't have fat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Did you get that?
I got it.
Okay, we're going to broil these.
So we're going to
Or-
broil
or break them.
We're going to
or-
broil
or
it
whatever.
at 375. And if you broil them at 375,
Bake them at 375.
Bake them at 375. Oh, you got me confused here.
Yeah.
For 15 minutes, and then turn them. You probably don't have to cook them any more than 5 or 10 minutes after you turn
Yeah.
them. And you don't want them cooked right through because you're going to freeze them. They will be fairly well cooked right
They'll
through.
be pretty well cooked.
And
yeah.
when you use them, you're going to put them in a sauce, and you're going to cook them again, and you're going to, as Pauline says, if you haven't made them too solid,
Yeah.
you're going to let the sauce permeate through the meat and add the flavor. It's going to flavor your sauce as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I made Polynesian meatballs with a lovely sauce with pineapples in it and green peppers and then serve it over rice. And then you make those tiny little meatballs for hors d'oeuvres when you're having a cocktail
But you
party.
don't make those, you buy those.
No, you can make them.
Yeah.
So there's
Actually, the reason why you have meatballs in the freezer is because you always have a meal ready. That's the main thing. And I think if you're going to you don't have to be a good cook to serve a meal. And I think that's where the kids are wrong. I think if you have 3 good recipes in your repertoire,
That's true. Yeah.
that's all you need. And maybe through this
You can fake
series,
it, but we've faked things
we
before.
can get you 3 good recipes. No, people want to come over for dinner. No, so seriously, if you have 3 good
that I agree
meals
with you.
in your repertoire,
And we should teach our children to have at least 3 good things.
Absolutely.
Make a good. I have a fellow that married the woman because she made a good cheesecake, and I thought you should have gone a little further. And don't you remake my meatballs?
well, they're really.
So it's
not hard
important to
enough.
have something in your repertoire.
Yeah. And tomorrow, we have the pleasure, a very big pleasure, of being invited to Rosa Demarini's house.
No, we were not invited.
Well, we
We
kind
were
of
intruded.
invited
Yeah,
ourselves,
okay.
and she very graciously said she would cook for us tomorrow.
No, she didn't. She said, "Oh, I'm not too sure we should go." I
you
thought
let
to
me
Mario.
finish?
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
So Rosa's invited us into her home tomorrow, and she's going to show us how to cook a very good Italian sauce. She's the most authentic, as I mentioned, the most authentic Italian lady I know. And she's going to show us
other things.
and other things as well. So we're looking forward to tomorrow's shoot.
And I'll be with her, by the way.
You won't be talking though.
I guess not.
These are fighting words.
And don't just stick us in a nursing home and pat us. And don't take me out for Mother's Day. Don't you haul me out of the nursing home and take me out for Mother's Day dinner. I hate Mother's Day. I don't want any of that stuff. So no,
You're-
love me
you're
now.
digressing from